Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Is It Kino? I am your host, Mumkey Jones.
And I am Erich, the god of lightning.
And Erich, let me just say real quick, off topic. I'm really excited. I caught up on a very famous TV show that I think we should review.
Okay.
I can't wait to watch the final season that's coming out soon. People keep recommending it to me, and I thought, I don't really want to watch that, but I just caught up.
Is it Young
You ever
Sheldon?
seen? No, the show. It's called House of Cards, and I think the final season is coming out soon. So I can't wait.
Yeah, I can't wait for it too, because Kevin Spacey's just gonna like knock it out of the park in that, right?
Yeah. I think this might be the one that gets him his eighth Emmy win. The
Yeah,
final
I mean-
season. I can't wait to see what they do with the Frank Underwood character.
He's just gonna knock it out of the park. It's gonna be all Frank all the time.
Yeah, he's
It's
gonna
called
grab us
House
all
of
by the
Frank.
dick with how good his acting is.
We
So, Erich, what movie are we kinoing about today?
are kinoing Thor, the one with Hulk in it.
Let me just say this will be the shortest episode of Visit Kino yet, because I can do my entire review very succinctly in 2 sentences. Would you
All
like to
right.
hear it?
Yeah, hit me.
Thor Ragnarok is very funny. In fact, it's too funny. And then Vsauce music starts playing. Do, do, do. I'm going to actually edit in the Vsauce music for the rest of this episode now.
Fuck yeah.
What do you think, Erich? What do you think of Thor Ragnarok?
I would agree with you that it is too funny for its own good, because basically they completely forget the plot of their own movie.
Yeah.
Like, it's hilarious to me at the very end of the movie, they're like, wait a minute, the title of this movie is Thor Ragnarok. We need to actually have Ragnarok in here. Yeah, I mean, I feel like this is kind of the nadir of Marvel movies, where they've basically thrown away all actual storytelling they've got, and it's basically just 2 hours of Thor cracking jokes and making japes and fucking up, and it's so
Yeah,
hard
they
to
kind
care
of-
about.
They wrote themselves into a corner with Age of Ultron, because Thor is in the movie Age of Ultron for about 8 minutes, and his whole
Yes.
plot is that he has a vision of Ragnarok destroying, what's the name of
Asgard.
Asgard.
Yeah.
So then the next Thor movie, you gotta do Ragnarok, but we're giving it to Takehiti Wataha, what's his name?
Yeah, you got it right first time.
Okay, we're giving it to one of the funniest directors on planet Earth.
Yeah.
Hey, Mr. Hilarious Funny Man, write a great story about this city of people being fucking demolished. And then he's
Yeah.
like, I guess I'll throw it in at the end, and then make it a joke itself still.
I guess I'll make a joke about how the entire world comes to an end.
And
How
that's
about
him, right? He's playing the rock monster, isn't
Yeah,
he?
he's the rock monster.
Yeah. So yeah, it sounds like we're on the same page here. I think the story and the plot take a back row seat to the comedy. And these Marvel movies, you're thinking, oh, but Mumkey Erich, they're always full of comedy. I think the Marvel movies, for the most part, have done a very good job of balancing, the serious things and then the comedy. This one feels like a full-fledged comedy where they try to squeeze and push every possible bit of comedy into just everything that's happening. Tons
Yeah.
of don't get us wrong, it's very funny comedy,
Yeah.
consistently funny throughout, but the movie doesn't seem to ever take itself, I guess, seriously. It's just a romp all the way through in ways that other Marvel movies haven't done. It doesn't really tonally fit
Yeah.
the rest of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But as its own standalone comedy movie, I think it's very successful.
If the entire movie had been Thor is just somehow transported to that planet and then has to do everything there, I think I would have no goddamn problem with the movie. The problem is you start it by talking about, like, shit happens to Odin, all this kind of stuff about Ragnarok comes up, and then they completely drop all of that to go and do other stuff. And at the very end, like, you've got like little inserts of the main villain, who's played by Kate Blanchett. And that's another problem I have with Marvel movies, is basically the villains are not even two-dimensional. They're one-dimensional cardboard cutouts and then they basically just say, let's get a great actor or actress in this role, and like it doesn't matter anymore. Like, as long as we have a great actor.
This might be
in
the
that.
first villain that actually matters, because I think she's coming back to be.
Is she?
Because the idea of, from what I've heard, because I don't actually read comics because I'm not a fucking loser, evidently the Infinity Wars, or like the Infinity Gauntlet and stuff that Thanos has,
Yeah.
he's destroying planets and killing like billions of people because he's in love with death. And I think
Yeah.
Kate Blanchett in this movie is going to be the death that he's in love with.
I
So I
would
think
really
she's
like
going to
if they
come back
did
and
that.
team up with Thanos.
Yeah, I'd really like that. The death in the comics is slightly different from the character Hela from the comics, where Hela is the kind of classical Norse mythology. So a lot of things in this movie confuse me because I am at least passably literate when it comes to both Norse mythology
Fucking nerd!
and comic mythology. So in Norse
Fucking
mythology,
nerd!
let me push up my glasses here.
Well,
in Norse
actually, Hela is
mythology-
not death, and she's a goddess of death. Got him very.
Yeah, she
No, go
was
ahead.
Okay, she is the goddess of death, and she is Loki's daughter. So, like
Loki's
in this-
daughter. What the fuck?
Yeah, in this they say, oh, okay, well, she is Thor's older sister, so Thor and Loki's older sister. That confused the hell out of me because get it? Hell.
Oh yeah, I see.
Yeah.
Very clever. You should write for the next Takahiti Watari movie because you're so
should.
clever and funny.
Yeah, very funny. Yeah, so that confused the hell out of me. And then like there's shit in this movie about it's not a spoiler because it's in the fucking trailers. The Hela character.
No, let me say there are no spoilers to be had except for one surprise celebrity cameo. Otherwise, if you've seen the trailers, you've seen the whole movie. There's
two
no
surprise
secrets.
celebrity characters, although one is not really a celebrity very much, but
Wait, who's the second one?
the guy who plays other Thor is Chris
Thor's
Hemsworth's older brother.
Yeah, well, who fucking cares? I don't know who
Never
that is.
really much of an actor.
Yeah.
Yeah, but okay. So the other thing that I just have a huge problem with is that Hela destroys Thor's hammer, and like I don't think it's so much of a spoiler to say that Thor still has.
There are no spoilers in the movie. I swear to God, if you've seen the trailer, you know the entire movie. You're just missing all the jokes.
Yeah. Thor has his powers in this fucking movie, but in the first goddamn movie, the entire point was that he did not have his hammer, so he did not have his powers. And they say so many fucking times, he who wields the hammer has the power of Thor. So, like, basically, anybody who picks up that hammer can be Thor. It's just you need somebody to be able to, like, be worthy of it. In this movie, they destroy the hammer, and he basically just realizes, oh, I can do whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah,
This is the
that old
problem.
cliche of, oh, the power was inside you all along.
The whole time.
Wow.
It's just they basically sacrificed any kind of essential storytelling so that they can tell jokes the entire time.
Yeah.
Which is great in the moment because this movie is funny as fuck. Like I was
it's the
laughing.
funniest Marvel movie by far.
I was laughing the entire goddamn time, all the way through. But then when you get to the very end of the movie, I'm just looking at the CGI action going on, and I don't know. I think just in general, CGI action just does not work for me anymore because it just does not impress me. You can basically do anything you want nowadays, and it just makes it not fun to me. I don't know.
Yeah, when the entire screen is 100%, CGI effects, I also don't give a fuck anymore.
Yeah, and it's just I don't know who the only character who I know that has an arc in this movie is the Valkyrie character played by Tessa Thompson.
And she's the only character that I think isn't just played for laughs. I think she's
Yeah.
actually trying to be serious in the movie, which was refreshing in its own way.
Yeah, and that's the thing. The other thing, you're right. Nobody in this movie is taking it seriously, which in the case of Jeff Goldblum is absolutely hilarious. But
Yeah.
Thor, who in previous movies was at least somewhat serious, or was probably actually one of the most serious characters,
Yeah.
in this movie, they just throw away whatever character he had, and he is just making jokes. It's basically they decided, hey, wait, Chris Hemsworth can tell jokes throughout the character completely. He's just going to be Chris Hemsworth telling jokes. Like, it does not bode well for at least my interest in the movies when it just seems like everything that they've built up is basically, we'll just throw that all out so we can tell jokes.
Well, my hope is that after the final Avengers movie, like Avengers Infinity War Part 2, I won't have to care about Marvel anymore, because hopefully they're going to reset it, and then it's all new people that I don't have to give a shit about.
Yeah, all of your investment just goes away.
Yeah.
Instantly.
So hopefully we're winding down on Marvel, because I think people keep talking about the superhero fatigue and how it's gonna kick in pretty soon, and this one is pretty fatigue for me. You know, like it's very refreshing and unique in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but still, I was like, okay, yeah, they're still cracking quips. Yeah. Oh man, he's gonna go fight the CGI bad guy at the end. Okay.
They somehow out-quipped Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
In this movie,
which was the previous funniest one.
Okay, so Monkey, I got a question for you. What do you think of after credit sequences, and did you watch the ones for this movie?
I saw the mid credits one. I don't know if there was one at the very end, but I did not stick around for it.
Yes, the one at the very end, I don't understand at all because just a giant spaceship shows up, and like, are we expected to think that's Thanos? We've never seen him on that ship.
I have no idea. I have no idea what any of it means.
That is maybe the worst possible excuse for an end credits scene I have ever seen. If only because we have no context for what the fuck is going on.
Yeah.
So it's just like, who cares? Who gives a shit?
It's probably another one of those things where only the comic book nerds are going to recognize what it is. So
I'm a comic book nerd. Like, unless this is some kind of like fucking famous Thanos ship I do not know about, I was fucking so surprised that they cut it where they did. Like, I just have no idea what's going on. Okay, so the very end credits thing is Jeff Goldblum. Basically, you know, there was a revolution on his planet.
Right.
The people basically surround him, and he basically just says, hey, I was a part of the revolution because I was the one you were revolting against. And that's about it.
Oh, so it's just like a joke again.
Yeah, another joke. They crammed one more in there.
Yeah, they just had to do it. Let's say... In the context of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, it sounds like we're kind of not super into what they decided to do with this movie. But as a standalone, let's pretend that we're not fucking nerds and that we haven't seen any of these other movies. I think that the movie works very well as a comedy, and it's very funny, very entertaining, very bright and colorful, unless your theater projector is broken like the one I went to, and everything was very dark and I couldn't see shit.
Monkey, what you do is, if that happens to you, after the movie lets out, because don't not see the movie, you shit into your hand and start throwing shit at them until they give you a ticket to see the movie again.
A true monkey solution to a problem.
Yes.
But yeah, I think I've covered everything I wanted to say. Like, I mean, if you're into Marvel shit, you've probably already seen the movie.
Yeah.
And if you're not, I guess if you want to see a super funny comedy, go for it. What do you have to say, E-Ridge?
I don't know why they decided that this had to be Ragnarok. Also, fucking Ragnarok is the eternal death and rebirth of the Norse legendary Asgard and all the fucking worlds and whatever. So, like, Asgard can be destroyed, but it'll just be renewed in a couple, however long. I don't fucking know. So I just don't understand why anybody doesn't know that. I'm apoplectic about the handling of anything in this movie.
This movie ignored Marvel lore and Norse mythology lore.
Yeah, because they had to get
favor of jokes.
Yeah. One of the things that really pissed me off about this movie is that near the end, they set up that Hulk, once he turns into Hulk, he will never be able to change out of being Hulk.
Oh, he's going to turn back.
He makes a big deal about that, and then he just doesn't.
Yeah.
Like, there is no scene where he's surprised that he was, like, it's just completely dropped. I don't understand. They basically have sacrificed any kind of sanity in favor of telling as many fucking jokes as they possibly could. But I had a good time. I was entertained.
Yeah, it's a good time. It's just it's underwhelming. Is this a dictionary definition of style over substance, maybe?
Oh, absolutely. Also, this is the highest rated superhero movie of the year, Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah, there have been a lot of superhero movies this year. I would say of the 3 Marvel movies, this is my least favorite one. I enjoyed Spider-Man and Guardians 2 more than this one, just because they were more balanced in terms of jokes and plot.
Yeah, as much as I had problems with Spider-Man and Guardians, like, they at least tried to have some impact on the characters and really tell a story. Thor Ragnarok does not tell a story.
I think Lego Batman had more balance between jokes and other things. It
definitely did.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think we're just talking in circles now. So unless
Yeah.
you have any other big points, we can.
I would like to see Thanos slip on a banana peel, and the entire movie is just a big joke that Thanos cannot do anything, and he just winks at the camera and shrugs and. Sorry, guys, I can't do this today. I just woke up and I haven't had my coffee.
You're a big fan of this director, right, E-Rich?
Oh, I love Taika Waititi.
Do you think it says anything about the superhero genre that this director's worst film is the highest rated superhero film of the year?
Probably. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
this is very much his movie. Like it
Yeah.
is so him just saying all the characters are going to be funny. They're going to be telling jokes, and it is very funny. Like if you haven't seen Hunt for the Wilder People, I would say watch that. It's really fucking good.
All right. Well, we're not going to say this is Taki Watabla Kino because he's
Yeah.
had two better movies, and we're not going to say it's Marvel Kino, but it is Thor Kino because the first two Thors are fucking Drek.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I actually like the first Thor movie, but I might be
Well,
alone there.
Yeah, I mean it's serviceable. Then the
Mhm.
second one is shit, and then this one is I'd say the best of the three.
Yeah. Taika Waititi.
Sure. Why titty? Hey, yeah,
Yeah.
why titty? Why not dicks? Why titties? Okay, well, for Is It Kino, I have been Mumkey Jones.
And I am E-Rich.
See you next time.
All right.
Oh, we got Justice League coming up soon too, don't
Yes.
Oh,
that will
God.
be interesting as fuck.
we? I hope Ben Affleck
know-
doesn't rape me.
You know about that's the other thing is Ben Affleck. Do you know about Zack Snyder with that?
That his daughter committed suicide because his movies are so shit, and then
Yes.
the director of Avengers had to come finish the movie for him.
Yes. This is
Yeah.
going to be fun as fuck because it might be a shambles movie where, like,
Yeah.
in one scene it'll be all dark and gritty and serious, and then the next scene
It's gonna be a quip
making
fest.
jokes. Oh
Yeah,
my
Buffy the
God.
Vampire Slayer's gonna jump in and start quipping at him.
I have no idea what the movie's gonna be like.